The days passed in a blur of lectures, assignments, and quiet moments shared between Arshad and Nazia. As their meetings became more frequent, Arshad found himself looking forward to every conversation, every smile that Nazia flashed his way. He had never been one for big groups or constant socializing, but with her, it felt different. She made him feel like he belonged, like he mattered. Yet every time he saw Nazia laughing with her friends or chatting casually with the popular crowd, a feeling of uncertainty crept over him. There was a part of him that wondered whether she really cared about him or if he was just another distraction. He had never been great at reading people, especially not someone as complicated and mysterious as Nazia. But what was clear was that every time they spoke, he felt more connected to her. One evening, after a long day of classes, Arshad sat at their usual spot under the big oak tree, waiting for Nazia. His mind wandered. The way she talked, her energy, her unpredictability, it all fascinated him. He couldn't help but smile to himself. It was strange, but he felt a deep connection to her that he hadn't expected. Nazia arrived a few minutes late, her bag slung carelessly over her shoulder and her hair tousled from the wind. She flashed a grin as she sat down beside him, unbothered by the fact that her late arrival was a regular occurrence. "Sorry I'm late. The world of the popular students never lets me leave on time," she said with a sarcastic laugh. Arshad smiled but didn't respond. He wasn't sure if he liked the way she was always around people, always surrounded by a crowd. It made him feel small, but it also made him realize how much he wanted to be close to her, to be someone she could rely on, not just a casual acquaintance. "You're always so serious, Arshad." "Lighten up," Nazia teased, nudging him playfully. "We should go out this weekend, have some fun, you know? No books, no lectures." Arshad looked at her, his heart racing. Was she serious? Did she really want to hang out with him? Of course. She did, he thought. She was the one who kept coming around. But still, the idea of spending time with her outside the campus, away from the pressures of university life, seemed surreal. He wasn't used to such luxuries. "I don't know, Nazia," he said hesitantly. "I have a lot of studying to do." Nazia rolled her eyes. "Seriously? I'm offering you an escape, and you're turning it down for textbooks? Come on, live a little." Arshad hesitated for a moment, his internal struggle clear. The reality was that he had never taken a break. His entire life had been about working, hard, pushing himself to succeed. But here, in front of him, was the opportunity to experience something new, something different. And maybe, just maybe, he could learn to enjoy life beyond the pages of his textbooks. "All right, fine," Arshad said with a small smile. "I'll go, but no promises about not bringing my notes along." Nazia laughed, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Deal," she said, giving him a playful punch on the shoulder. "You're gonna have fun, trust me." That weekend they went out together, and for the first time in a long while, Arshad let go of his worries. They visited a small cafe by the river, walked along the quiet streets, and even spent time people-watching in the park. Nazia was everything he wasn't: spontaneous, carefree, and always in control of the situation. But that day, something shifted inside Arshad. He began to see a different side to her, one that wasn't just about the attention she received from her friends. There was a vulnerability there, a loneliness that she rarely showed. He wondered if he was the only one who noticed it. As the Mai evening drew to a close, they found themselves sitting by the riverbank, the lights from the city reflecting on the water. The air was chilly, but Arshad didn't mind. There, in that quiet moment, he felt a deeper connection to Nazia than he ever had before. "I'm glad you came out today," Nazia said quietly, her gaze fixed on the water. "You don't have to be so serious all the time, Arshad. Life's too short to worry about everything." He looked at her, his heart beating faster. "I'm just trying to make something of myself," he replied softly. "I don't have much to fall back on." "I know," Nazia said, her voice softer now. "But don't forget to live along the way. Sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination." They sat there in silence for a while, the sound of the river gently lapping against the shore. For Arshad, it felt like the beginning of something new, not just with Nazia, but with himself. But little did he know, Nazia's perspective was different. For her, this was just a distraction, a way to pass the time. The reality of their bond was still unclear, and soon Arshad would realize that not everything in the world of Nazia was as it seemed.